Hey everyone, I'm Ksenia and I'm talking about books in English. And if you like this video, please give it a like. This week I've been frustrated and very tired. Maybe this happened because I read books about strong women and compared them to myself. And of course, that comparison was not in my favor. But I have a rule. If book upsets you, pick up another one. So I took the book that I had already read in translation, and I was sure that it would give me a lot of pleasant moments. So this is Anne from Green Gables, written by Canadian author Lucy Maud Montgomery. And this book is about a girl, an unusual girl, but not about a Wonder Woman. And this is such a bright, kind and inspiring story that I even felt better after reading it. So the story takes place at the very end of 19th century in Canada, and the main character is inimitable and surely red-haired 11-year-old orphan who was mistakenly taken from an orphanage to Green Gables farm. Farm owners, the siblings Marilla and Matthew Carberts, wanted to adopt a boy to help them on the farm, but they got Anne, and later they realized how lucky they were because Anne brought life and joy to their house. Of course, not everything went smoothly in the beginning. Enthusiastic and unusual Anne constantly got into some kind of a trouble. Her imagination often served her badly. And one of the guardians, Matthew, took an immediate liking to her, but not the strict Marilla. But everything will be fine because this book is written to children, and Elfa is a child fiction. It's a book for children. It's time tested, and I think it will bring pleasure to adults as well. Perhaps the book's language is a little ponderous because the book is over 100 years old, and yes, I was really impressed by the length of the first sentence of the book. For a moment I thought I was reading Russian classics, and the minuses of the book also include the fact that the plot sucks near the end. But I liked it. I liked that the writer didn't make it worse with the main character, because the previous book I've read was The Grapes of Wrath, written by John Steinbeck. And if you've read it, The Grapes of Wrath, I think you understand why I was glad that Anne was doing well in this book. But of course, all minuses of the book are compensated by one huge advantage: the presence of it. Anne who wants to be called Cordelia, or at least Anne spelled with an E. Anne who hates her red hair, and who has romantic stories running around in her head. And because of this, she often got into all sort of trouble. And who speaks in that pathetic and strange language. She says, I use big words, but if you have big ideas, you have to use big words to express them, haven't you? And of course, she is talkative, kind, fiery, and enthusiastic girl. She knows no measure for her sorrows or for her joys. But she can pull herself together in difficult circumstances. She has a pure, open heart, and she thinks outside the box. And of course, she's very, very lively and memorable heroine. If given the chance, I would have bookmarked the whole book, but unfortunately, my daughter only shared 2 bookmarks with me, and I really can't choose which episode in the book is my favorite. How about this, for example? Don't be very frightened, Marilla. I was walking the ridgepole and I fell off. I expect I have sprained my ankle. But Marilla, I might have broken my neck. Let's look on the bright side of things. By the way, I suppose that Anne's past and details of her adventures were softened in the book because this is a book for children. But in the new series, Anne with E, the writers added both details and drama. And yes, I like the series very much. And thanks to it, I took a new look at the book. And I realized, and forgive me, and Shirley, that I haven't understood this earlier, I realized that being a new at school, being an orphan in unfashionable dress, being different from other children in both life experience and character, it's extremely difficult. And I suppose it requires the presence of, how can I say, the presence of an inner core in a person. So I love that Anne is openly declaring to the world, I am who I am, and I have the right to be that way. One more little thing. I totally agree with Anne when she said it's ever so much easier to be good if your clothes are fashionable. And I was very glad for her that her dream came true and she got a dress with puffed sleeves. And that's all that I wanted to say today. Yes, I highly recommended this book to everyone as a remedy for a bad mood, and I wish you a wish fulfillment like Anne's. And see you soon. Bye.